Welcome back to First Issue Club if you are a returning listener. If you're not, oh boy, do we have a show for you. This is the weekly comic book podcast where we cover almost exclusively first issues so you can stay in the know on the comic book industry and feel the beat of the pulse of the hottest new comic books that are coming out each and every week. This week we are talking Tartarus and Alienated. Both books have creators with funny names, Johnny Christmas and Chris Wildgoose.
Thoughts?
Yeah, wow.
I just needed a breath after that. I thought you guys would chime in.
I was taken aback.
Is Johnny Christmas a pseudonym, or is that his real name?
I don't know.
Like Lloyd Christmas?
Mm-hmm.
That would
Just
be...
like Lloyd Christmas.
Is it illegal to have a holiday as
as
your
your
last as a name? Like, how did that happen?
Is it illegal to?
Yeah,
I knew a Harold
like my
Groundhog
name
Day.
can't be Greg President's Day.
You can't,
Greg Hanukkah.
because of Jello Biafra, you can't run under a pseudonym for public office.
Oh, really?
He made that rule. Or
Okay,
that rule became him. So,
good for him, and good for the dead Kennedys.
exactly.
With me, as always, in the club today are the Budget King and Greg. We're sorely sorry to tell you Caitlin is not here today. Not feeling great. We'll see you next week, Kay.
Sorry. We ran into a conundrum as we were coming over here, as we thought to ourselves, who is going to introduce the comic books? So now...
This week we're going to let them introduce themselves.
Yeah. So welcome that treat later in the episode as...
Where none of us have read the comics yet.
So before we get into the comic books today, I saw a little bit of Bat news, and I wanted to get your guys' takes on this. A handful of things coming out about the Batman movie. We probably saw they're releasing some photos of the outfit. Some people are upset about it. Some people are stoked about it. Did you guys have any takes?
All I saw was the photos a couple weeks ago that weren't supposed to get released, and they didn't tell you anything, so I actually don't know about this outfit thing.
Oh, it's like a 30-second video of like a film test.
Yeah.
It's basically all black, and then the lights slowly pan up and they're red, and you see Robert Pattinson and his jawline in the Batman suit. And the interesting thing about the suit is the Batman emblem is actually made out of a disassembled handgun. That is a real fact.
Makes you think like vigilante weirdness, right?
Also that he's like really playing up this idea that he doesn't use guns and doesn't kill people.
Well, the rumor is that the emblem is made from the gun that killed his parents.
Oh, I like that.
That's kind of cool, right?
So
Spirit of vengeance.
yeah, and I guess that is actually canon in the DC line, and I guess in the Detective Comics 1000. It was
I didn't realize
there was
that.
a story that he had made his emblem out of his.
He melted it down.
Yeah, mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in this costume though, can you see that it's a gun or is it just melted?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's I like that, I guess.
His mask is also very Adam West.
Does it have any
mask-like.
red on it? Oh,
It's
okay.
like loose and like leathery looking.
Does it
rather
have
than,
any
like,
red
a
on it, like
hard
blood?
shell.
Well,
What?
I had heard early on that this was going to be somehow the tie-in eventually to Batman Beyond. And so
Oh.
I thought that maybe they would start to drip some red into his costume to like allude to the Batman Beyond
Well, the lighting is red.
costume.
Mm-hmm.
That's above him.
It's true.
No, did they drip some blood on it actually? That's
Yeah,
weird.
he's covered in blood. It's actually a sequel to Carrie.
Perfect. The Adam West leather hood, I don't see how that's going to go over that well. It's going to look like a gimp mask.
People were upset by it, I think.
I haven't heard anything about it.
Yeah,
I mean, people are upset about everything on the
I
internet.
know.
So
That's true. Here's the thing.
You guys like this actor, by the way?
Robert Pattinson.
Yeah, he's great.
He's
He is great.
dreamy.
Boy, did he figure out how to get out of a typecast. Like, he might have written the book.
Oh,
on that.
actually, in this version of the Batman, he's a vampire.
He sparkles?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I like it better.
I feel like they do such a good job of casting Bruce Wayne and not Batman. You know what? They
Which are
pick-
two different people.
Yeah, they pick guys who are like handsome, rich-looking, waspy dudes to play Batman.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and that's
Which
who
is Batman.
Yeah.
Interesting. I wonder if they would ever consider doing two different actors for the two different roles, like the Hulk
Uh-huh.
kind of thing. Like you get Christian Bale as Bruce Wayne, but like I don't know, The Rock as as Batman when he transforms.
Brock Lesnar.
And people are like, "What the fuck just happened here?"
It looks like Frank Miller Batman. All right, here's the thing that I'm feeling mixed about is that I don't know if they've said this for sure, but CNBC has an article that The Batman starring Robert Pattinson will feature 4 villains,
Yes, I have heard that.
which normally
Not a great.
it's not a good sign.
Too crowded.
A lot of times when they try to rush and push all of these characters in together, they jump the shark. People feel like the characters didn't get their due. It's also maybe some quick fan service without the nice payoff of
Yeah.
having earned a moment.
So I think like story wise that ends up being like one in the first 10 minutes that like is irrelevant, 2
Mhm.
that team up, and 1 that's the real big bad.
Right, yeah.
Sounds about right.
And I know people hated this about the Justice League movie, was that Marvel slowly worked their way towards throwing a bunch of characters together, and then it meant something.
Have
by
they
the time
released
all
who
got
the
together.
bad guys are?
It's going to be Catwoman, Riddler, Penguin, and Carmine Falcone. So the Falcone crime family.
Okay, so yeah, in some ways like Catwoman's half.
Anti-hero.
So yeah.
Do you know who's playing Catwoman?
I don't.
Kravitz.
Zoe Kravitz?
Zoe
Lenny.
Kravitz.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, Lenny. Lenny Kravitz is Catwoman.
That's great. Yeah, so definitely they're Zoe Kravitz is so like a hot commodity. They're definitely gonna flesh that out and make her a Harley Quinn entity. I don't know. I hope that the Batman movie revitalizes the franchise, and I think that it could. Who's the director on it? If you have to look it up, I don't fucking care.
Yeah, I don't
Oh,
know.
it was no.
Oh, this guy again?
Terrence Malick. That's normally where you go with.
Yeah, Terrence Malick.
It'll be like a 2-hour-long abstraction.
Yeah. Speaking of good movies, I saw Parasite last night. It was amazing.
How was it?
Yeah, everybody should see it.
Gives it a solid 10 out of 10. You also saw an instant classic in Sonic the Hedgehog the other day.
Way better than I thought it was going to be.
Did Jim Carrey ruin the movie or make it?
No, he made it better. It was crazy. I love Ben Schwartz. He's a great comedian. He was the voice of Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yep.
Did a phenomenal job.
Mhm.
Cyclops was in it from the original X-Men movie.
Oh, yeah, Jason Marsden.
Jason Marsden, he was good. Jim Carrey was in it. He was fantastic. Like, it was just a
Who
solid...
plays Tails?
Is Tails in it?
I'm not going to reveal that
That'd be a
information.
huge spoiler.
I'm
Oh,
not
is
gonna
it?
ruin it.
And
Yeah.
he's not
in the-
Knuckles?
I'm not saying yes or no to any other question that
Okay.
is asking who else
Do you
is
have
in
to
the
see
movie.
it high to enjoy it?
No, we saw it stone cold sober.
Okay. So
Did
it's not the next Cats.
Say what?
It's been rumored that this is the next Cats. The phenomena of like,
just like weird CGI that
people go
But
to go
it's
see
not.
high.
Oh, okay. I see what you mean. It looked good. Like I'm glad. So the Sonic movie was plagued with a bunch of drama when the first trailer dropped because that Sonic that they first had was horrifying.
Is this a case of the uncanny valley
What do you mean?
where it looked too real and then but wasn't? There's only so close that you can get to real, and it's
Mhm.
horrifying the closer that you get to this like 96% is more scary. This has happened. This term comes out of Shrek. So they did these test audiences for Shrek.
Okay.
And they did the troll Shrek that looked very human, and it was scaring kids
Yeah.
because it was like in the uncanny valley you can only get to like, let's say it's 94 or 96% of looking like a human,
Uh-huh.
and they were like, you gotta draw back to like 70% humanoid,
Yeah.
and then they fixed that, and then it was like lovable Shrek.
yeah.
This might be the same scenario
so,
where
yeah.
it was like too much hedgehog.
It looked like one of those kids that like had that weird disease where they're covered in hair. That's what the original Sonic design looked like, but now it just looks like a fun cartoon character.
Do you know what it looked like to me? And I don't know why this exists, but in Kansas City we have a grocery chain called Price Chopper, and for some reason their mascots are these like furry ball animals.
Like koosh balls brought to life.
Yeah.
They are the price chompers.
Oh, thank you. I didn't
and
even
they,
know that.
And they like bite through prices.
Okay, yeah. Thank you. I didn't even know that
Yeah.
context.
But they roll around. They're basically
And they're like,
disembodied heads of Sonic.
yeah.
So what they should do is just rename the grocery store Price Chomper.
Yeah,
I would
that
go to
be the
Price
logical
Chopper.
move.
Yeah. You guys remember Food for Less?
Was that like a brand?
There was a grocery store called Food for Less.
I have never been there.
Oh, it was great because it told you exactly what you were getting.
Food for less.
Food for less.
Check your text. I sent you a picture. And
Here we go.
This is from Wonder Woman that's coming out.
Oh, I
It's
thought it was a
it's
Tyreek
it's a
Hill.
leaked photo
Live reaction
of
from
what
Michael
Cheetah
Budget
is going
King.
to look like.
Beautiful. Amazing. 80s.
I want to get your thoughts on what you think.
I think
I don't like the hair.
I don't like the hair either.
it looks like cats.
Thank you. That's my first reaction. It looks like she should be in the movie.
It's not fair
Cats.
to like this and then not like cats.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll go with you on that. I haven't seen Cats though. I hate cats.
I'm
the
still
idea.
waiting for a trailer to give my final verdict, but that looks not great to me.
I think it looks as good as they're gonna make Cheetah look, because Cheetah's gonna be hard to put into.
Yeah, that was
cinema.
when they first said that they were going to do Cheetah and Wonder Woman. I was like really nervous because she's basically just a cheetah brought to life in like a human form, like cheetah, human blood.
I like the design around her though. This '80s thing that they're going hard with is gonna win them some fans.
Yeah, I'm not saying that like that's not going to be successful, but
Yeah.
we'll see.
Did you ever think that furry culture was going to be so mainstream as it is now?
It's infiltrated us on every level.
It really has.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Like,
Furries are really having their day in the sun.
people, animals, and they're supposed to be sexy are like in things now, and we don't question it.
Do you find a person sexier if they look like an animal?
No.
No,
You do.
Verdict's out on me. I don't know.
you need to see more people that look like animals.
Yeah.
I think your verdict would be in if your sisters weren't in the other room.
Yeah.
Is the vibe I got from the look on your eyes.
Spoiler alert: we have some special guests in the side studio
That movie Sing, I have to tell you, really got me going.
with the singing animals.
Yes.
that are computer animated.
Yes.
Okay.
The Shakira version, I think she used a hippo, maybe.
Ooh, those hips don't lie.
Yes.
I saw a picture of a furry the other day, and
Did
he
it
was-
awaken something?
he was
in you?
doing like this in his mascot like
Uh-huh.
head thing. I'm doing like the inverted like paw hands, and then he had a can of beans poured all over his feet, and he said, "How do you like this for my toe beans?" Which are you familiar with the term toe beans?
No, please
No.
go on.
Toe beans are like your dog's paws or cat's paws.
Uh-huh.
The little paw pads look like little beans.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So
and
toe
so
beans.
toe beans is like a cutesy thing, but he poured like baked beans on his toes.
How hard did you crank it to that photo?
I'm still
You must have
chiseled.
ruined your laptop.
Uh,
Yikes.
man.
I can't go back to work now. 'cause
Fetishes are fine. but
once I
keep them
connect
away
to the
from me.
network at the office, they're gonna know everything.
I got flagged.
What I don't like about furries, and I like most things about furries, is I don't like
I'd love to hear your list of what you like about furries, honestly.
I like their dedication to the craft, the complete I don't give a fuckness of them, that they're like kind of wearing their own like sexual pride on their shoulder. I think that's cool and powerful.
Mm-hmm.
What I do not like is the in-between furry, the like 6.8 on a scale of 1 to 10 that just has like a tail and a little bit of face paint. If you're going to go furry, you got to go all the motherfucking way.
We still haven't reached the level yet of like I'm going to the grocery store and there's a furry in front of me, like
Right.
buying raw meat or
But that's what
anything.
I
But
want,
we're headed
yeah.
in that direction.
Yeah. So I don't like in-between furries.
Do you think there are sub fetishes for different types of furry? Like, am I just attracted to wolves
Foxes.
or foxes? Those seem like the two most common ones are like wolves and foxes.
Mhm.
But you don't see many like giraffes or cows,
I've seen like bear adapts.
I think that's just
bears.
that just has to do with pricing out a costume. Can you imagine how much a giraffe furry costume would cost? It'd be astronomical.
You think so?
You have to have like a real long neck,
Mm-hmm.
and you have to look out through the neck part because you don't have a long neck.
I think the kinkier ones would like the weirder
longer necks?
animals.
Yeah. So
Come here, crocodile.
that's a good question. We should get a furry on this episode. Do they wear the costume that they identify with, or is it they're just happy to be in fur?
I bet they
Both.
identify with an animal.
Okay,
They're called personas.
thank you.
Is that true?
Mm-hmm.
I love that.
Yeah, like a persona, but it's your
your
fursona.
Yeah.
I identify with a squirrel. I would be a furry squirrel.
Now this is a conversation we should be having. What do you identify with?
I identify with squirrels because I'm very anxious and jittery and I can never stay still.
Mm.
I'm always suspicious of other people. Squirrel.
Mine's a platypus.
Why?
Because I'm just a mixture of a lot of fun
And
things.
you can't be classified.
And I came out of an egg.
Okay. Mine's like
I can be classified.
well, I think that's the whole thing about a platypus is it's the iconic like
Yeah,
unclassifiable.
God's mistake.
Yes, exactly. A salamander, I think. Like,
You'd be a good salamander.
thank you. Wiggly and
I can rip your tail off and it grows back.
Super smooth.
yes,
Super smooth.
super smooth.
You look wet, but when I touch you, you are not wet.
Yeah, exactly. I think I'm like the cross between like intimidating but also just lovable.
That's actually really nice. That was a nice conversation we just had, everybody.
Greg, how do you feel? Do you have enough content for the intro?
Yeah, I think I can hobble something together.
Personas, I hope, really makes it.
Persona will make it, for
Okay.
sure.
Well, let us tarry no further. Let us get this podcast started.
Podcast ho! I'll cut that one out.
No, it's good. I like it.
Keep the hoe?
Well, because we always say like, why does somebody have to be like, that was good? And I was like, I'm just gonna refrain to not say it.
Okay.
So I was like,
It's fun. It's a little fun thing I had.
it was good. I like to ho
Ho.
ho. Terry. I'm not familiar with that word. That verb. Terry.
Let's tarry. Let us
Let us tarry.
go. Yeah.
Okay.
No, we are no longer tarrying.
Oh, okay.
To tarry is to
There was a bunch
distract.
of Terrys who took down the World Trade Center.
Terrorists. Yep.
You love calling terrorists Terrys.
Okay.
Is really Terry is to waste time?
Mm-hmm.
Let's
oh
us
boy.
Terry.
That is why people laugh at me at my LARPing events.
Let us Terry no longer.
This fucking noob.
First up, we have Alienated out on Boom by Simon Spurrier and Chris Wildgoose. Simon Spurrier, he did a book called Spire out on Boom, and he is a great author. So I was kind of excited for this. I didn't know a lot about it, and this is what Alienated is about. It is about outcast high schoolers. One is a girl named Samantha who wants to get away to college. One is a kid who is homosexual, and his name is Samir. And one is the new kid who's trying to figure out life. His name is Samuel. If you noticed, all of their names are Sam. Yep, this is a comic book about 3 Sams. So
Tale as old as time.
3 Sams discover a
Walk
artifact.
into a bar.
Yes, three Sams walk into a bar. And it's unclear why they're together, but we can get to that. And they find an alien artifact. They touch it, and they automatically can talk to each other through their minds.
Talking mind talk.
Yep. This is a teen book of teens getting their high school willies out, figuring out high school, and now
Getting their high school willies out. Hold on.
that you can say that and not be sexual. Like, I'm getting my willies out.
Yeah.
No?
You're going to find a tough audience for that one.
They're figuring out high school, and now they have been connected through telepathy with 2 other people that they didn't even really know that well. And that to me is a fun journey. This book is a teen book, I would say. I don't think it got classified as that. Boom. We'll do that sometimes. I don't think it is for a teen audience, but it has a lot of the tropes that teen books have, such as very highly emotional and coming of age type of things.
Why would you say it's not a teen book? Like, it's not like you don't think teens would enjoy this?
Sometimes there are teen books that are for teens, that are marketed for teens.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is a teen style book that adults could also like enjoy.
Okay, I see what you mean.
You know, like where it's like I know that both Marvel and DC have their teen lines that they do some great books on them, but their core audience is teens.
Did this make you want to get your willies out?
Your teen willies?
Yeah, it helped me work my willies out.
Great. I loved the formatting of this book. I thought it was so creative. The first few pages you get are just like vignettes of each of the individual characters, and then you're like stamped with like a really bold font of their name. So I'd never seen characters introduced like that in a comic book. And then as we work through the day, you get stamps of like first period, second period, third period. So it was a motif that just kept continuing through the first issue and made it very easy to follow.
And very fun to read.
Yes.
And if you're going to explore this trope, or not a trope, just a narrative device of 3 high schoolers don't know each other, all of a sudden they're telepathic and they can read each other's minds, showing it period by period and them changing classes in a comic book format, fucking brilliant.
Yeah, they did it really, really well.
Well, and how quick they progressively went from like freaked out to accepting it to understanding each other and judging each other and, you know, getting into the teenage mindset of preconceived notions about different types of people was all super interesting stuff. The most interesting thing about this was the high school bully character. Or not necessarily the bully, more so the
Agitator of sorts? Or like-
outcast who's owning it, I guess.
yeah.
He's very representative of your conspiracy theory, conservative nut job,
Yes. Yeah.
right?
In that, like, yeah, he's really into weapons. He's, like, out for himself.
He doesn't want
Yeah.
the gay kid touching him.
Yes. He's not, yeah.
Tells when there's also he's like Indian or something too, Samir, and he's just like get out of the country. He says some like
I think he calls him, like, Saddam.
yeah, he
At
calls
some
him
point.
Saddam.
Yeah. So great job making a guy that's unlikable. Spoiler alert, dies.
Yeah.
He did.
Not only dies, but like gets imploded
Yeah,
and
gets
into
blown up.
himself.
which is a great way to end this comic
So,
book.
one of the things that I always say about this is when you have an over the top butthole character, I'm always like, we know this character is going to die or they're going to get their comeuppance because
Right.
you're playing way too hard into how big of a dirtbag they
It would
are.
have been hard to redeem him.
Yeah, it would have been. Were you surprised when he died?
In the way he did,
Yeah,
totally. Yeah.
I was. I thought we were going to boil to a point where he did something fucked up and instead he just like evaporates.
Got it.
Right.
I thought that they were gonna try to redeem him and
Yeah.
make him like the 4th member of the group, and then he has to tell.
Turns out that's going to be the alien.
And it, yeah, that is true. The alien becomes like part of the crew in the end, which is kind of crazy.
I did 4 years of high school, almost 5. No
Oh
brag.
wow,
Humble
this
brag.
guy, yeah, 4 years. Okay,
I've never met a bully like this on like any level. I know it's supposed to be like exaggerated and whatever, but like this guy was a psychopath.
and just like completely nihilistic, like just like fuck the world, like he to the point that like the main Samantha is like sees that he is on a bike and she's missing her bus and is like, hey, could you just tell them I'm gonna be late or whatever. He rides up to the bus and goes, oh, don't worry, go along, just go away. Who would ever fucking do that? I don't care how cruel you
He
are.
went out of his way to make somebody else late.
That he didn't even know.
Yeah.
I guess she did get his name wrong, and that maybe could have pissed him off.
Like
But-
a normal human.
One thing that I like loved about this is Samuel is a YouTuber, but he's kind of like a masked kind of conspiracy theorist YouTuber that plays into this whole other element of like there are these young kids trying to provide teen uprisings against adults. That in and of itself of a comic book would have been a great comic book.
Right.
Yeah.
That mixed
Now it's just a small subplot.
yeah, that mixed with all the alien shit, I that makes this comic book like a double whammy for
Yeah.
me.
There's a million places it could go, I think. I'm super intrigued by it. Teenage relationships. Love them. Get your willies out.
Get your
Get your
willies
willies
out.
out.
Get your willies out.
YouTuber, even just like the insight into YouTube culture and how people use YouTube now. It's like kind of fun. On top of that, to be a conspiracy theorist on YouTube, great. Alien stuff. Have we gotten into the alien much?
Cute
No.
alien that kills people at will and then says awesome. You got me sold.
Yeah.
And does he do their will essentially? Where like deep down in their hearts, where they like, fuck this guy. I hope he goes away. And then the alien killed them?
I thought the alien was trying to protect them because he saw that the bully guy was attacking the kid.
That
And
could
so
have happened.
The alien was just like, nope, I'll take care of that for you.
It's
Yeah.
either that or Samuel wished it while he was getting attacked. And was
That's
like,
kind of what I
"Oops."
was thinking.
Okay, so you think the 3 kids have a telepathic link to the alien, and
Yes.
then whatever they think the alien just does.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
The alien says, good. Good did good. Done good is
Ah.
good.
Okay. So he's hyper intelligent but does not know speech.
He's learning another language.
He's just trying to help him out.
Get out of my
It is
country.
a cute little
There
alien
you go.
thing.
It is cute.
It looks like something out of Zelda.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or Pokemon.
It's got tiny little paws, but it's also like a robot.
Alien is a solid book. Boom has done it again. Boom is just knocking it out of the park. I don't think they've done a bad book in the last 6 months. So good
If
job.
they have, we haven't covered it.
Right. Yeah. Boom.
Get your willies out.
Get your willies out for Alienated.
You think they'll use that on number 2, like our quote?
I think that get your willies out.
Get your
will-
willies out, first issue club.
Yeah. Yeah. First issue club says get your willies out.
Now,
Nothing to do with the book.
First issue club rated this a get your willies out. 2 willies have been gotten out.
two willies out for Alienated.
Next up, we have Tartarus
Ugh. Already. Good luck.
on Image.
What a fucked up name.
Tartarus. I looked up what it meant or what it was.
Oh, really?
It is a Greek folklore story for like the range of like the depths of hell, kind of.
Next.
Which is a premise within this book is that it's a prison planet, and deep below the like surface of the planet is where they keep all the prisoners in this like large pit. So for some prolific author, they found this term and they're like, that's what I'm going to call my book. And
Yeah.
if you looked it up, then you were rewarded in that way. This, I believe, is a quarterly book.
Which is why it's extra beefy and extra
thick.
expensive.
Yes. For those who can't do the math, that means it comes out every 4 months.
You just insulted our audience.
And myself, because I had to do the math before this podcast. And it is big and long. It is a space opera in a lot. Big and long, and it gets his willies out. Okay. This book is hard to describe in a short synopsis, but it essentially is the tellings of a prison planet and warmongers coming to like figure out all of their stuff, I guess. It sold it as Breaking Bad on Mos Eisley, which
No.
I didn't get. The Breaking Bad was a little bit of a stretch. No drug dealings or like nefarious like anti-heroes really.
Yeah.
But there is a lot of like crime bosses trying to figure out where they're going to be in the crime boss world.
I'll tell you, I like the Star Wars comp. It felt sort of Star Wars-y to me. Huge Star Wars spoiler if you don't know. But
Do tell.
there's this character Luke, and his dad is the bad guy, Darth Vader.
Oh, wow.
I thought you were going to
and
tell me that Greedo shot first.
and in this book, we've got a hero, apparently, I think. Right?
Time will tell.
Yeah,
We'll
That
find out
one-
in the next
that
4 months.
certainly was confusing. I'll
Yeah,
give
it
you that.
was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Whose mother was a bad
Darth
guy.
Vader. Oh, bad guy.
Essentially, like what? We got a story like 17 years earlier, the first half of the comic,
Mhm.
and then the second half of the comic was 17 years in the future.
Her mom, though, is a badass character created in this comic book.
Yeah.
Completely tatted out, crawls out of this pit, rages a huge war among everything, and like basically single-handedly like destroys the planet. Kind of. They made her good, like her, like interesting at least.
Were you rooting for her during
Yeah.
the prison escape?
I think you have to.
The first half of it read like a prison escape. I was rooting against her, and they did a bit of clever, I guess, giving the people she was killing depth, where they would have like small conversations about like loved ones or relatives,
Yes.
and then she would kill them. And it was like, why did you introduce me to this person? Why couldn't they have
I
been
love to
just
get to know
like-
my victims.
Yeah, just like a shallow guard.
They did throw in that she has a baby at the end, which is the next second half of the book, and I was like, random that she is just a kid.
Yeah.
I root for any face tatted woman in any story. If a female has a face tat, I'm gonna root for her.
Yeah. That's just your demo.
Yeah, that's what I feel like that's a commitment to a lifestyle that I'm gonna respect.
And encourage.
Yes, thank you for doing that.
The artwork in this was beautiful. It was
Insane.
absolutely beautiful.
The fight scenes to me sustain this comic book alone, and this is a big honking comic book.
Did it feel like it was too much?
How long did it take you to read?
I don't want to talk about that. It was a big one. It
Yeah.
took a little longer than
did-
well, because there was so much happening. There were so many panels. There was so much action. I had to flip back and forth and kind of figure out
Who is who?
Yeah.
Here's
I
what
had to restart the second half of it once.
I will say, yes, this was surprisingly easier to follow than I had anticipated.
Mhm.
From like flipping through it and looking at it, I kind of thought,
For how much dialogue, how many characters, and how hard sci-fi it was,
yeah.
I 100% agree.
So it kept me entertained and dove into the story for sure. The only problem I had with this book was they tried to do even too much for this 60-page book, that they like are jumping a little bit of like narrative plots where I'm just like, I guess I'm rooting for Tattoo Face Girl, and she has a baby. Okay, I'm in. Oh, and she's gone. She's dead. And now we got a whole new chapter. It's like, whoa, I was there with you. Like, give me like 15 more pages on that, maybe.
Give me Face Tat Girl back, please.
Yeah.
That
So-
would. Do you guys feel like the intro would have been a great second issue?
Yes.
Yeah, totally.
Like, here's this interesting book with enough going on to have you buy the second issue.
Although it was the better of the two books, so I
It
see
was
wh-
the better
I see
of
why
the
they put
two.
it up.
Yeah.
I'm
It-
curious if they did this because they were concerned that people would be confused if they released it in smaller issues and that they would lose readership. And they're just like, well, let's just fuck it. Let's just clump it together and release it every 4 months, and like people get more bang for their buck.
Part of me thinks that it just takes so fucking long to work on
Yeah,
with how
dense.
detailed and dense the illustrations are. I mean, even like the color palettes. I'm telling you, like, developing these color palettes is no small task.
Oh,
There are pages with like red hues, orange hues, green hues, multicolor hues,
John Hughes.
John Hughes.
Every Hughes you can imagine.
the one thing though that I did know about this comic book is that Johnny Christmas was a co-author with Ed Brisson on Sheltered, which is a comic book that I talk a lot about, or I have talked a lot about before. They call it a post-apocalyptic book about kids who inadvertently kill all of their parents in a prepper commune and then have to figure out their prepper commune as they think an impending apocalypse is coming. And that comic book was fucking sweet, like insanely awesome. So I feel like he knows how to pen a dramatic narrative with a great arc.
Two key things that I want to know about this book that I was a little either confused on or maybe I'm supposed to be left in the dark on at this point. One, she gets our main character, the baby in the early story, adult in the second story, grabs a sword from somebody, and then the sword turns ablaze. It's on fire. Is that a special power she has, or is it just a fire sword?
Was she also gonna? She says you thought wrong or something like that. So that was her plan the whole time. Was
Yeah,
to,
was
like-
she in on it the entire time?
That was not clear.
Because if she was in on it, then there's this interesting thing where she tries to help her great aunt or something by taking her like DNA to a med lab so they can like regrow lungs for this character.
And that's how they find out who she is, because
Yeah.
they take her DNA, put it in the system, and say,
Mhm.
"Whoa, you are that warmonger's daughter."
Yeah.
And they immediately come and arrest her. That was really cool how that unfolded.
Yep.
But then like that she has this like secret back plan outside of that, slightly unbelievable.
Yes, I agree. It seemed like this was all surprise to her,
Mm-hmm.
and that would be a dumb misstep to have her identified before going into
What was
that.
your number two confusing?
There seem to be water charmers in this universe who can turn liquid into solid tools.
Yes.
And I don't know if those are going to be like the Jedi type characters, and our hero is going to discover she's one of these people,
And
or
they-
has been one of these people.
I do not understand that. I think they also take like a vow of silence, or some of them do.
Is that right?
They were like talking through their mind or
Yeah.
something.
So not a complete vow of silence.
You're right. Yeah.
Mouth silence.
I don't know how vows of silence. I've never taken a vow in my life.
So what was your marriage?
A vow of like superhero proportion.
Like a marriage. Were you crossing your fingers the whole time?
A vow to do like 50 push-ups every day. Like I've never.
Ugh,
done,
no.
never done
That's
something
I
like
would
that.
rather die.
Yeah. The push-up vow.
No.
The first issue club push-up vow.
0 every day,
You vow to do 0.
so I can stay squishy and weak.
Someone's going to say we saved their life.
I think somebody will come back to this episode and say, I took the first issue club 50 push-up vow,
Yeah.
and I'm a better person
And
for
I
it.
punched a hole through a person. Thank you, First Issue Club.
Yeah.
I'm in prison.
I think our conversation on this book gives you some insight into what it was like reading it. It was a little disjointed and weird, but also fun and exciting.
Can I
A
tell
little
you?
hard to follow, a little craziness and weird heady stuff going on.
I think to the format of this, the fact that it's going to come out quarterly, I am definitely going to say add it to my pull list. I liked it enough to see where it goes throughout the next year. I care about these characters. The artwork's insane. It was a fun enough read.
Yeah.
So like most comics that we read that we go mediocre don't make it on my pull list.
Right.
This is going to make it on my pull list.
How many willies do you give it?
Okay, out of the getting my willies out willometer, I would say about 6.
Wow, 6 willies.
You gave Alienated 2.
2 willies up. That's like those are 2 willies.
So this is 6 willies just in general?
This is on the willometer.
Right.
And so on the willometer, which is 1 to 20, it's
You gave it 6.
Sorry, 1 to 12.
This metric is fucked already.
Okay, I give it 1.5 willies on the other one.
Okay.
So if 2 willies was full on, my willies are out. 1.5 willies is like I got 1 limp willy and 1 fully torqued willy.
Okay. You heard it here first, folks.
Get your willies out.
Get your willies out. I know ours are, and these books were great.
And that's a podcast.
Endorsed.
Sorry.
Man, when we get quoted, that's gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
And this is a little thing. Quarterlies actually come out every 3 months. So if you guys wanted to know that, quarterlies are every 3 months. So they're not every 4 months. Math is hard.
But a
We read
quarter,
comic books. We don't do
but
math.
4 quarters go into $1. So you would think quarterly. 4 quarters equals 1 year.
Say that again.
I said 4 quarters go into $1. So quarterly, you would say 4 months go into a year.
Yes, but
Wait, that doesn't make sense.
every 3 months is how it works, though. So
4 times 3 is 12.
4 times 3 is 12.
yeah,
Oh, fuck.
yeah. So we both fucked up.
Math.
Fuck math.
Riddler and the Penguin.
Do we know who's playing Riddler and Penguin?
Penguin is, what's his face from In Bruges?
Danny DeVito.
No. Nope, it's fucking...
It is somebody cool.
He is a man who was in the movie In Bruges.
What is In Bruges?
It's a movie. It's a good movie.
In Bruges.
The city?
Are you saying it right? You saying that word?
Oh,
right?
yeah, sorry, I forgot how to talk. It's a fucking... What is his name? God damn it. He is a person with a name, and he has...
Hey, we have
family.
we have people recording in here. Do you guys know? Can somebody hit that microphone and tell us the name?
I'm looking it up still.
Oh my God, what is his name? He's a hunk. He's a dreamboat.
Is it Jim Caviezel?
No, it is a man from not America. I think.
Does he look weird?
No. What else has he been in? Come on, Greg, think. He has eyebrows.
This is great. This is great
This
content.
is solid.
Who
Here,
the
watch this.
I
Watch
fucking
this.
saw this on Twitter. Why is this?
You didn't. Liar. Mm-mm-mm. The
Is
Batman.
it Colin Farrell?
Colin fucking Farrell.
All right, it's Colin Farrell.
Jesus Christ. Was
Thank
I
you.
not right, though? He was a man. He was in that movie.
He does have eyebrows.
And he has eyebrows.
He's in Bruges. For those of you, when you guys
It's
think of
2 words.
when you guys think of Colin,
It's 2
Colin
words.
Farrell, do you think of In Bruges?
Absolutely not.
All right. Well, this is my last podcast, so I will see you guys later.
All right, cool, great. Okay, so we got Colin Farrell, and
Yep.
then